welcome to another video, guys. We had a coaching session with Ravenous Demon Hunter recently, and in this video I'm gonna give you a quick updated guide about this deck, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips so you have a better idea of what you could be doing with, as well as what to expect against the deck. I hope you find the video helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great, and don't forget you can check me out live on stream each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday if you want to see the gameplay for these videos happen live. Now, let's get into the guide.
You are not prepared!
Here's the deck we used, and it's pretty standard nowadays. This is kind of the go-to deck if you want to be climbing easy with Ravenous Demon Hunter. It is the Elise variant, which means you also have to have a 6-drop like Climbing Hook. We also need a 10-drop or a 9-drop like a Briarspawn Drake or a Ziliax, but the rest is pretty standard stuff. Nowadays, Broxigar has become a staple of this deck because it gives you so much card draw. It also messes up with the opponent Ravenous Demon Hunters because you are going to actually shuffle Death Rattle minions into their Death Rattle pool, so that is going to mess up things like Ravenous Hunter, and that definitely gives you the edge. Same can be said for something like Reconnaissance for Priests, which is also gonna mess up because they're gonna get more of the Portal Demons. What are you trying to do with this deck? Sometimes you could actually tempo with things like Grim Harvest, Infestation, Wyvern Slumbers, but usually what you're trying to do in the first few turns is try and find your Blob of Tar so you can play it on turn 4, let it die, and on turn 5 play Ravenous Hunter, and from there on out your board becomes pretty disgusting to deal with. This curves you amazingly well into your Cliff Dives, which are going to be giving you broken things like Illadaris, Briarspawn Drakes, Mechtherodons, but it also could low roll with things like Elise, Califero, and heck, even Blob of Tar and Ravenous Hunter, especially if the board doesn't have a minion to kill him off into. A few really important things to note with this deck would be to manage your weapons correctly. Like, if you have the chance to save yourself a weapon for a turn 7 or turn 8 Califero or Cliff Dive, that would be very, very potent for you, because if you don't have a weapon, playing those would half the time give you Illadaris, and you're not going to be able to actually abuse the attack you're going to get with it. So that is why sometimes it's very important for you to lay back with your weapon swings and actually conserve them, especially if you don't need, let's say, the Death Rattle effect out of Tuskpiercer, or the card draw, or damage out of active scenarios. With the Climbing Hook, you basically get the slap forever, as long as you have a 5 attack or more minion on the board, which usually does happen easily for you. But for the other two weapons, you need to be smart about it, and you actually need to plan out your turns ahead, quite ahead in some cases, like literally turn 3, if you know on turn 4 you're going to be playing a Blob, on turn 5 you're going to be playing Ravenous, and on turn 6 you're going to be coining a Cliff Dive. So yes, turn planning does become very important with this one. With Califero, you can literally win unwinnable games with the help of literally full board of Illadaris or full board of Briarspawn Drakes, and heck, even full board of Mechtherodons would be pretty amazing, but sometimes you could lure with things like Elise, and for that not to happen as often, in some cases when you play a Cliff Dive and you pull Elise out of your deck, you're literally going to try and kill off your Elise into a minion first, and then take care of the minion with the other thing you're going to take care of, even with a Blob of Tar, let's say, just for the sake of actually minimizing the chance of Califero not being amazing. But that would be a little bit of a next level strategy, but definitely be comfortable about it. Going through the cards themselves, we have the Portals of Argus, which are going to give you a good amount of card draw, and they're, like I said, an excellent way to mess up the opponent's Death Rattle. This is going to fuck up Demon Hunters, Death Knights with the big Reborn taunts at the end, Priests with Reconnaissance, and so on and so forth. Those would be the main 3, but in certain cases it's going to mess up something else too. Red cards are pretty decent. You could be using them just for the sake of anti-tempo, or to take care of something important like another Blob of Tar for the opponent, an Egg of Kelos, or just a big fat minion, that also works, or a big fat taunt. The Tuskpiercers are amazing because you're going to be fishing out your Death Rattle minions, and you only have Blob of Tar and Ravenous Hunter for that, and in certain cases you might even equip a Tuskpiercer over a Tuskpiercer just to accelerate the rate at which you're getting your minions, but in other cases you're going to be much happier actually holding back with the second weapon for the sake of you having a way to swing on turn 6, 7, or 8, depending if you have the coin or not, and depending if you're gonna Cliff Dive or Califero. On turn 1, when you equip this thing, a lot of the times it's actually correct not to swing with it, for the sake of you being versatile with this thing, and you're still gonna have enough time to swing on turn 3 and 4 for the sake of actually breaking this and drawing a Death Rattle minion, if you still don't have your Blob of Tar. But so many times I see people equip this thing on turn 1 and just swing with it because it's glowing green, and that 9 times out of 10 honestly is a mistake, because you'd be much happier controlling the board early on, especially if you're planning on doing something like, let's say, Grim Harvest on turn 2 or Infestation. If the opponent plays something like a 2-1 after you've played your Tuskpiercer, you'd be much happier actually taking care of that 2-1 and having another weapon swing ready instead of just clearing off your weapon forever. The Broxigar literally almost never gonna get to see play for you. Like, I've played this deck so much times, and so far I've only seen it get played once, and that was literally like a couple of days ago on another coaching session with the dude. So no, it's not about this guy dropping. Eventually Potentially he could, but 99% of the time it's not. The Grim Harvest is great because it gives you card draw. It also gives you a minion on the board for you to handle the opponent's early game with. The Infestation is basically 8 damage for the opponent's minions, but you could also be using it face for some chip damage, and you could literally tempo it against some people if they don't have any early game aggression, like let's say Quest Warriors. Playing this on turn 2 and cracking out a couple of these on turn 3 actually is gonna stick for a decent amount of damage usually. The Access Scenarios is amazing, and don't forget this thing draws you a portal out of your deck, not just a card, so if you already have the portal in hand, don't expect another card out of this. We did this misplay a few times, I think. But also you could even be killing the portal with this thing, and that is indeed gonna first shuffle the portal back, draw you a card, and draw you a portal, so you should be fine. Return policy is amazing once you've already played yourself a Ravenous Hunter. Just don't forget you have to play a Ravenous Hunter. It doesn't need to die like Blob of Tar does. You just have to play it, so if you actually got yourself a Ravenous out of something like Cliff Dive, this does not count towards this thing being active for it, so be careful with that. The fact that this also gives you another 5-mana Ravenous to play with, that's also pretty amazing. In some niche scenarios, you might actually use this thing for the sake of Tusk Piercer again. Like if you had a single Tusk Piercer and gave you a Ravenous Hunter, and turn 4 is closing in, return policy on turn 3 for another weapon is actually not a bad idea for the sake of you curving out, and that is going to be especially good against greedier matchups where you don't need all of that value. The Wyvern Slumbers could be amazing as 2 damage AoE. It could also be amazing for a couple of extra minions early on. Just don't forget you don't want to be playing this too much around turn 5 and 6, because that's where board space becomes a little more important to you, especially if you already loaded up your Ravenous and Blob of Tars. Board space becomes a lot harder to get for you, so having a couple of dormant minions for a few turns not that amazing, even though in some cases it could work out, because if you time them right, this could be an extra minion for your Califero, let's say. In other cases, you might use this even for 2 damage on your own shit. Again, like I said, board space would be important, so if you actually want to make yourself a little bit more room for your good stuff, you might even use this for 2 damage to kill off your 1/2s, so you can fill out the board with more Ravenous Hunters, let's say, but that's kind of niche scenario. Blob of Tar, self-explanatory, amazing cards, gives you a lot of protection, gives you a lot of stickiness, and it handles some big men very well. Dangerous Cliffside is another great card for you to actually flood the board with on your Califero turn, let's say. You can literally just plant this on the board, and on turn 7 or 8, click it, and then use Califero, attacking for a second batch of chargers. Probably not that amazing, because if you do get Illadaris, that would be much better to save the swing afterwards, but if you already drawn all of your Illadaris and you're hoping for a Macterodon or Briarspawn Drake, by all means, swing, click again, and get yourself 4 of those. Elise, a lot of the times you're going to be using for a 1-mana copy, but also using it for a 5-mana free rushers could be amazing. Again, for the Califero aspect of things, you can literally have a 5-mana location on 5 or 6, and on turn 7, click it, Califero transforms all of those rushers into big men, and that'd be huge. Discovering a spell also ain't the worst. Getting plus attack could be helpful, and in some matchups, just gaining armor could be good, because this deck doesn't have too much in terms of healing. You literally just have Access Scenarios, and maybe the random 5/5 out of this, if the opponent is kind enough to actually attack it with minions. The Ravenous Hunter, like I said, you need to be playing it for the return policy to be active. It's pretty awesome. It's a great way for you to stick sticky boards, but it's also not a taunt himself, so if you gotta play this on an already dangerous board, it's gonna be a while till this guy starts protecting you, which is kinda sucky. The Climbing Hook is pretty amazing because this gives you a lot of extra damage basically for free. You should be able to swing with this forever from here on out, and it's a great way to guarantee you having a weapon for Califero, Cliff Dive, Illidari, that kind of stuff. The Cliff Dive is pretty awesome because it thins out the deck a lot of the times, but you gotta be smart when you play this thing. Like, if you're gonna be playing this for the sake of phase damage, make sure you have a weapon equipped for the Illidari to be able to follow. But if you're gonna be playing this for board presence, make sure that the opponent actually has something you want to be killing, because if you pull a Blob of Tar and Ravenous Hunter, for instance, and the opponent just has 2 attack minions, well, you basically did nothing. Whereas if the opponent had something you can kill your shit in, you basically get to attack both of these on those big minions, and that is gonna give you a very big board that's not gonna return back to the deck. Getting yourself Briarspawn Drake can be amazing, and nowadays this always attacks before it goes back into the deck. Apparently it was a bug before, not being able to deal the damage half the time before. Macterodon getting pulled like that basically leaves him on the board for 6 damage across 2 turns. Getting Califero out of Cliff Dive would be pretty shit, and same can be said for Elise, but like I said, with Elise, you actually might think about killing her off so she doesn't go back to the deck if you're planning to follow up with a Califero especially. Califero himself has won me so many games it's not even funny. Not very many things are as satisfying as having a full board of Illadaris, Macterodons, or Briarspawn Drakes. It is definitely a sight to behold, but it does take a little bit of strategizing and setting up, like I said, fitting out the deck with the bad minions, having yourself a weapon weapon ready to swing, that kind of stuff could be huge, and in some cases you're literally gonna even hold on to this guy in your starting hand just for the sake of being able to do that later. The Eldaris are amazing when you pull them off out of Cliff Dive or Califero, but in some cases you're just gonna tempo them out as soon as turn 8. That could be good enough as well. Same can be said for Macterodon, and Briarspawn Drake, again, best comes from Cliff Dive or Califero, but getting played from hand also could be a good chunk of damage. Matchup wise, we have plenty to look at. Aggro Demon Hunter is gonna be a little bit too quick for your liking. Like I said, we don't have healing in this one, so any damage these guys deal to you is gonna stick. Same can be said with Face Hunter, Elemental Mage, so basically mindless aggro is gonna wreck you pretty good. Midrange Shaman is gonna be a great matchup for you, same with Dragon Warrior, so you are covered against most of the popular good decks, but against some of the faster ones you might have a little bit of troubles, even though Aggro Pally is actually a pretty good matchup for you because these guys are very board centric and you still have yourself 2 damage AoE as well as Blob of Thors, whereas the other decks you're not as good against, they have a lot of burn damage from hand as well. Going first, here's what we have. Obviously, always hold on to your Tusk Piercer. The Grim Harvest is nice. Straight out holding on to Blob of Thor is a good idea. First Portal of Argus, also pretty decent to do on turn 1. Wyvern Slumbers for tempo. Elise you're also happy to hold on to. Infestation depending on the matchup. Same can be said for Axe of Cenarius. And if you already have Tusk Piercer, I'd also hold on to Ravenous Hunter. Heck, even if you already have Blob of Thor, I'd also hold on to Ravenous Hunter because that is so good. As long as the opponent is not some super aggressive deck, this would be a good enough hold on to you. On the coin, the situation is not much different. I would not really hold on things like Cliff Dive, but I would definitely consider Califero against things like Warriors or Death Knights, so keep that in mind. All around, that's it for the deck. Quite a detailed guide this one, but I do believe this deck is going to remain pretty strong after the mini set, so this should still be helpful for you, even after Tuesday tomorrow. I hope you found the guide helpful. If you did, you know what to do. Now let's check out some of our games on our road to legend on the coaching session. Hope you enjoy. Against the Mage, could be Protoss Mage. I think we're fine against those.
Yeah. So
Not with most of this hand we ain't, but still. What do you want to do here?
I would keep for Protoss. I'm not sure we need Infestation for Protoss Mage. Just for the tempo, maybe.
If it turns out for him to be Elemental Mage, we're gonna be begging for that. I don't know. I'm not against the Infestation still. Yeah, let's just hold on to the Infestation. The Access scenario is also not the worst if we gotta be honest. I'm okay with keeping both the cheap stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so far feels like Protoss indeed. You can just hero power the 1-3. Soon we will murder it.
Makes sense.
Until then, might as well do that. Yeah, on turn 3 we're probably gonna Infestation into the 1-2. Going face and rushing it down so he doesn't have a target for his Protoss bullshit. That kind of stuff. Yeah, infest away for now. That weapon is definitely tempting. Yeah, equip the weapon, Garishi his face, hero power his face, and rush down the 1-2 so he can't discount. Yeah, it's definitely pretty fun. Okay, he has his location, so shit's gonna start hitting the fan faster than we'd like to. Well, hit face, see if we get the blob. If not, we can equip another one, maybe Wyvern.
Here it is.
Not bad at all. Let's do that then. Okay, he was waiting for that, but can't deny him forever. That's kind of silly of him. think he would have been happier if those were alive for him to utilize on later. Okay, there's a game plan for you.
We have Slumber, we have another weapon.
It's turn 5, and we have Califero in hand. These are the turns where you need to start thinking about how you can pull off more out of that Califero, and if you Waver and Slumber this turn, you have a decent chance of getting yourself a minion out of it for the Califero on turn 7 with the coin, potentially. So, yeah, I'm down to summon a couple of minions out of Wyvern. Do that, and Hero Power, 1 mana weapon into his face. Next turn, maybe we played a Ravenous out of it. We'll see. If you top deck a Ravenous, you'd be much happier holding on to this weapon later on for the sake of being able to attack with Califero online, but still. Okay, we did get ourselves the free turn Dormant Idiot, so that's gonna be helpful. If this gives you a Frostbolt to the face, that'd be pretty dumb. Okay. Take 3 more damage, but yet we smile. And there's that Ravenous you were hoping for. This helps big time, because now you're not going to have to waste your weapon, and you do get to actually go for a Califero play sooner rather than later. Yeah, played a Ravenous on the right side, so they're separated for a couple of turns. And Mage really doesn't have anything too big against us, so wasting this red card just to deny him this 5 damage, I'd say, is not a bad idea. So go ahead and do that. 5 extra damage to the mouth. Brings you a lot closer for his Protoss shenanigans to kill you. That's all. Okay. Well, we're pretty happy with that. As long as that's not a counter spell, which we can test easily by attacking face with a minion. Go face with a minion, see what that do. Nice. Sint. That is indeed a counter spell. So we're not very happy about this.
We have
It's
a
actually
coin,
pretty-
so potentially we can test
but
it.
no Califero. The thing about Cliff Dive right now is you're only going to be somewhat happy with an Eldari plus Mechtiradon for that extra 11 damage, but with nothing alive on the board for you to smack into, your damage is limited. So what I do instead is... Yeah, go face with the... actually... Hero Power, go face. Play the Ravenous Hunter. Yeah, go face with everything. Ravenous on the far left. Come on, man. Ravenous far left, and Garishi Swarmer your face, because it's counter spell, doesn't matter. Okay, that's about it. So this next turn allows you to coin Hero Power with Califero if you want to. It's a very sticky board. We don't care about that. We're not afraid of a little bit of ice. We're not illegal. That was stupid. If that's another counter spell, that'd be dumb as mud. Let's find out. Use the coin first. Of course. If only the game wasn't rigged, you know? In this case, play the 7 mana Cliff Dive, yeah. Not the best, not the worst. Honestly, I'm down to kill off this Elise so she's not a potential Califero shit for you next turn, so kill her off into the 5/5 and Hero Power that mouth his. Problem is his Protoss crap does 10 damage, so you're very close to Pepsi Max here. And he's gonna fucking do it. Well, what can I say, man? Double counter spell twice like that was hella rigged. I'm not saying we would have won. Like, that literally could have given you at least twice, but this be kinda dumb. Let's see what else happens. Does he have it, or do we still have a little bit of stuff to do? We're still left with a decent board for a Califero play. Come on, game, don't be a bitch. Acceptable. Illadaris don't believe in taunts. Okay, that's interesting. For the sake of more damage, the poison guys kill the taunts first. Taunt goes face, and taunt goes face. Play Califero, see what that do. And only Blob of Tar fucks you. And it didn't fuck you. And turn GG. Oh shit, it's not GG. Fucking Mac Pterodon fucked you over. Fuck our sideways. Well, what you gonna do? Couldn't do much about it. Stupid fucking Mag. Mag gives, Mag takes. Wait, we're not
Don't you
dead.
think... okay. Leave it for the next game.
There you fucking go. GG.
Okay.
Unbelievable though, like fucking Mag. Fucking Mag. That was definitely a little bit on the weird side that game, but a win's a win though. Think he didn't discount it enough, RDO. He only discounted it with his location and a single photon, so I think his Colossus was like 11 mana. Okay, Grim Harvester, great. Red card, not so much. 2 Grims, a little bit too much, but better to have him than to not. I'd hold on to him.
Okay.
Hero power. Yeah, sucks to suck that ass. That guy lost against us. He could have been smart about it and actually saved his last location, so he discounted it. I think he could have played it better against us. Okay, grim it up. We on the hunt for a blob, and a blob we caught. Yeah, another blob never hurt nobody. If you don't top deck a weapon, we're just gonna hero power the left blue Murloc, the one with Battle Cry, because that one does get +2.
I remember this place well.
Yeah, blob on the far
Just
left. And just go face.
Busy night, but there's always room for another.
Welcome to the stream, Dad. Best 3 decks now from Gold to Legend. Midrange Shaman, Ravenous Demon Hunter, Dragon Warrior, probably. Leech Death Knight also pretty sick. If you're on a budget, Aggro Pally, Elemental Mage. Something like that. Okay, things are going 0 to 60 real fucking fast. I'd love to see this curve. This guy really can't handle you much right now. I'd say a Ravenous for this turn. Next turn we get to play the free mana return policy, maybe the free mana weapon. So yeah, this is going very fucky for this man. Yeah, play it on the far left, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Poisonous kills the taunt.
1-1
Taunt still
as
kills the
well.
1-1, yeah, I'd rather he doesn't have anything on board and face. What do you think mid-range shaman stands for, man? That's what Haggard the Shaman is. I mean, this guy's literally one-off lethal in it. Infestation off the top is lethal. Hey, look at that, infestation off the top, funny. Do that then. Infest his mouth. At what rank do I stop coaching people? Never. I'm gonna coach them to rank 1, damn it. That's where people start eyeballing some tournaments and shit. Building lineups, practice groups, all of that nonsense I ain't nobody got time for. You know how it go. Okay, what do you feel about here?
Portal, for sure. Slumber. For weapon, I'm not so sure we need it right now.
I mean, the weapon is cycle and you don't have your blob. I'm actually down to keep the portal, the axe, and the Ravenous Fell Hunter. This guy's most probably Egg Warlock, and the Slumber I don't feel is gonna help us much. So yeah, let's just ditch the Slumber. Yeah, sure thing, Davey. You might want to look into somebody like No Hands Gamer, Bunny Hopper. I think still coaches, question mark? Maybe not. Language Hacker was coaching before. I think he's coming back to Hearthstone, so maybe he can do some for you as well. Pocket Train, question mark? Or did he stop? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Okay, portal away, hero power in it. At least in your hand like this, pretty awesome stuff. But still, living life blobless, not very great. Let's just hope this guy doesn't get his egg on time. If he does, you better hope you get yourself a red card on time too. Having a red card against egg lock does stall him decently well. There you freaking go. Well, that's great. The weapon is not going to be very important for us. We're probably coining out... Who are we coining out next turn? Probably Elise. For that little bit of extra damage, as long as this guy really is egg. He's not Rafam, that much has been said. Doesn't seem like he has the egg. He did keep his far left card if you're paying attention to your deck tracker. Wonder what that is. Because God knows it ain't a holy egg bearer. Come on, Broseps, hero power pass. Dude had egg all this time and he didn't play it. What the fuck are we even witnessing, bro? Still, coin Elise.
Please.
I remember this place well.
5
And I
mana.
would say... Let's think about it. Would it be advised to go for 5 mana way things are going. I'd rather go for 1 mana so we're versatile with it. 1 mana.
Okay.
Copy is obvious. Sadly, no spell here.
+1 attack.
If you get lucky with a Califero later, the extra minion would be better than the +1 attack, and I doubt we're gonna chip this guy down, so get the extra minion. That's about it. Okay, so now basically your Unguro jungle is gonna be 2 minions for you when the time comes for a potential Califero, which is kinda cool. But sadly, this guy is gonna start doing the egg shit a lot sooner than we'd be happy for. Good news is you have your Blob, you have your Ravenous. I think we're pretty happy all around against this guy, way things are going. You can go ahead and play the Blob. And,
Just face. Should we trade this one?
way things are going against this guy, we could even try to crack the egg faster than it's supposed to get cracked. 3 times the hatch, leaving him with only 2 potential. I think I'd attack into the egg here. Call me crazy, but I don't think this guy's prepared to get his 2020 on. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Okay. Way things are going next turn, potentially with Garishi Swarmers and the location, you get to crack this open with a 2020 and kill it with your poison guy. We're playing a game of chicken and the egg. Let's see which one comes first. He does have Hellfires and shit. Right now he could have 3 damage AoE into a Hellfire, which would be kinda nasty. But not that nasty, we have the Ravenous for next turn. Hey there, McWarg. Welcome to the stream.
Almost out of time.
Cool story, Bob. Oh, that's fucked up for you, man. Say goodbye to your fucking 20. Good story, dude.
Cool.
Okay.
Killing the egg.
Yeah, crack the Garishi. Wait a moment. The 1 attack. Don't. Yes, attacks. You could have gone face with that 2 damage. That was a misplay. Fuck it at this point. No, what are you doing?
No.
1 mana Garishi his face. Both the rushers kill the egg. Poisonous kills the 20. And go face with a hero power.
Don't you think we should play location? At
Next
least
turn
on
you
the
get to
board?
play location with the 5 mana. There's no reason for you to tempo it. He still doesn't know what that location is either, so let's keep it a secret for now. Okay, so now this guy's chances for his Umbra to get him back to life, but by the time he has Umbra, we're gonna have a bunch of Blob of Tar, so he should be well on his way to fuck off down. He's gonna fuck off way over there. We played a dangerous game of chicken, but we knew what we were doing. It takes a chicken to know how to crack an egg. I don't know. I knew losing 5 times in a row with Egg Warlock was worth it, even though I didn't make a video about it. Now I know how to fuck him over now, don't I? Even though this guy had close to perfect curve.
Won't be long now.
Yeah, time for the 5 mana Ravenous. 1 mana location on it. But don't rush. I mean, don't hurry. Put down the
Yeah.
location, but first we need to take care of a few things. Kill off your Elise into the Elise. Use location on the 5-3. And I would say let's rush down a bunch. I'd rather we actually use all the 2-1s into his minions and just the taunt to the face for the sake of having rooms for all those Blobotors. So yeah, let's just make room with these idiots to die. 1-2 goes face, the rest rushes. Just for the sake of having rooms for all those blobs and their sons and daughters, we need to make some questionable trades.
Feel their spirit.
Who the fuck runs this? This guy's actually running the weirder variant, apparently.
Feel their spirit.
I guess he's running a greedy Egglog variant with the Ultra Gigasaurs at the end. Pretty weird list, this one.
Weapon?
We don't really want to be killing anything, though. Because the moment you
Face?
kill one of these, that is going to give you an Ultra Gigasaur to have to worry about. I'd say the 1-1 kills itself into the 2-2. The 1-1 Ravenous just for the sake of it having a blob on the boards. The 1-1 into his 2-2, yes. We don't want it his to die, we want ours to die only. Hero power into his face. And then equip the weapon. Go face with everything else, and red card his 2-1. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, this should be pretty sucky for him. Next turn we have 3 potentially good lethal outs with Califro, with Cliff Dive. Depends on what he does on the board, obviously, but let's see how that go. Okay, I guess he's gonna go for some AoE shenanigans. I doubt he has enough with only 5 mana after that, though. Not sure what he's trying to set up here. Double table flippage. Still leaves us with a full boards. Cool story, Bob. Well, a Venomoose minion needs to kill that. So attack it with a poisonous, yeah. Do we just tempo him? He's gonna be sitting on the board menacingly and take up space for a while for ya. Not a huge fan of it. Play the 2-mana Grim Harvest, see what that do. Not too bad. Crack open that infestation, hero power. We don't have anything to attack into, which is a damn shame.
Just face is everything.
Yeah, but not with the weapon. This guy still has plenty of healing where that came from, so this 4 damage is much more valuable for us being on us than wasting it, so just pass. Maybe tempoing a blob wasn't a bad idea for the sake of having something to kill off his big man afterwards, but I don't know.
We can play it the next turn and copy it, the blob.
We could have done that last turn too, but the board was a little bit too full for that to be too great.
Yeah.
There's that Ultra GG Soar, and like I said, that 4 damage wouldn't have made much of a dent.
Almost out of time.
That is not the worst. Yeah, I'm down to red card there. Yeah, do that. We could draw a portal with our face right now. Are we looking for that? Yeah, your face can attack into the 1-1 and maybe just play a Mech Pterodon. After you put down a portal, obviously. Yeah, put down the portal.
Does it make
Mech
sense to
Pterodon.
leave the portal for the Drake?
Mech Pterodon doesn't kill every minion. We just got unlucky that the board had so many small minions last game, so I would still just do it.
Okay.
The Mech Pterodon actually is gonna be better if this guy actually plays something with more than 3 health. And this is still gonna be 6 damage across 2 turns, so not the worst. This return policy, very good. Kind of funny you don't have a single Cliff Dive or Califero in the top 16 cards of your deck, but they do be like that sometime. Okay, there's that Umbra. He doesn't even have enough room for all them eggs. Maybe he's not even gonna land on a 2020. Sadly, he did. But right now, this man could be dead through a Briar Spawn Drake. Odds are not very high, because it's only gonna be a 6-3 and a 20. Technically speaking, we could actually get ourselves a 0 mana red card out of this on Goro. No, actually, what am I talking about? We got the Rusher, not the spell. Did this guy actually think he's gonna get an extra minion or something? Okay, that's mildly annoying, not gonna lie. I think we're fine though. We're just gonna have to survive through this crap. And with return policies, why wouldn't we? Yeah, you can top deck the 3 mana return policy. Obviously pick the 5 mana idiot. And we kind of don't have too much room. I would play the 5 mana Ravenous, but I'm not sure it's worth it to copy it. You're simply not gonna have enough room for anything out of it anyway, so who cares about that? So yeah, just play it on the far left. And should we double Garishi to 6-6 so he doesn't have a minion to fuck with? Yeah, Garishi into the 6-6 once. Attack into a 2020 with it. And Garishi another time, and attack into the same 20 again. And that's all for this turn. This way he's not gonna have Umbra to poke up poisonous for you. Good news is next turn we can build another Walletons, even bigger. A bigger, better Walletons. He's already used 2 Hellfires and 1 Table Flip, so he shouldn't have much more in terms of removal, AoE at least. It's huge. Look at that huge veiny throbbing Gigasaur. Hey, look at that, Califero. Ready to fill the board with Ravenous Spell Hunters, no doubt. That'd be sucky. Do it. Okay. If we got a full board of Eladaris, we'd be happy. If we got a full board of Ravenous Spell Hunters, we'd be sad. Odds are in your favor, but is it worth the risk? I don't think it's worth the risk, man.
Just trade is on blob. Trade with.
Can we
Hunter.
kill that 12 health minion?
I grow impatient.
Yeah, go with the cliff dive so you can fish out the Ravenous, maybe.
Okay.
Do it quickly. Ravenous attacks into the 12. Quick. 4/4 attacks into it. 4/4, man!
Yep.
The 5/3 kills itself into it, and the 2/4 kills the other big one. Quick. Come on, do it, do it, do it! Bruh. So much second guessing for you. So much second guessing there. I think we're fine, but you also needed to play a return policy before shit ended. To be fair, you couldn't, because there was no room for it anyway, but yeah, you should not have been this slow on this. Him having an extra 20 ready for whatever probably isn't connecting phase, but still. Good news is next turn you have a full board of Ravenous Eladaris, no questions asked. He is setting up his last table flip, it seems. He also discovers a spell. Would be a damn shame if he discovers a second AoE, I can tell you that much.
Almost out of time.
He's panicking. He's panicking. I guess he's not setting up AoE. Perfect. Okay, so Poisonous guy kills the 2017 first. Everybody else can go face after that. Not that it matters, but yeah. A single 2/4 attacks. Everybody else goes face, and Califero for the guaranteed Eladari full boards. Can't say no to that. Just go face with your weapon. Easy. That was massive. Something massive for the masses. Okay, this guy was running something weird, but we had him covered each step of the way. To be fair, his deck is not exactly top tier, but it definitely does have its moments.